So today we're talking about the Dead Air Wolfman Suppressor, the best suppressor when you're a furry. Anyways, so this is what's going to come in the box is this suppressor and the long configuration, right? So pretty sick, pretty nasty. The long configuration is 7.5 and the short configuration, looking at my notes, 5.13 inches, right? The bore is 9mm and you can shoot 9mm, 5.56, 7.62, 300 blackout, 350 legend, and 357 magnum through the suppressor, right? There is no barrel restrictions and it is full auto rated. So things that we love to hear about a particular suppressor. Now that being said, what exactly comes in the box is just the suppressor itself and the direct thread mount. But unfortunately, I could not locate my direct thread mount, but it's pretty simple, self-explanatory, direct threads onto your weapon system of choice. Okay, now let's get into the prices. Just so y'all know how much the suppressor will run you, I'll tell you the price of the Nielsen device and the taper mount and the piston, right? So you're gonna have to buy these, and then this, and then these, and then this. This is for a pistol though. So if you don't plan on shooting this on a handgun, you don't even have to worry about the Nielsen device, right? And piston. So going through the prices, the Dead Air Wolfman was $7.99. The Trust was $25. The tax stamp was $205. And the total out the door cost with tax for me was $1,057, right? So not terrible. Now, going into the booster assembly, it is gonna run you a little bit more money, and it's gonna be $129. These are hard to find, guys. This is like finding a British dude without fucked up teeth. Down, up, down. They are out there and you can find them, right? That being said, we can move on to the piston. So this one is half by 28 because the barrel on my handgun is half by 28. This bad boy ran me $89, right? Now going into this Nielsen device, you need to lubricate it, or what I have been told by industry professionals, because I am not one, right? Is using lithium grease really works, right? From there, we'll talk about the Plan A taper mount for the Dead Air Wolfman, Wolf-95 Delta and Ghost. And that is this bad boy, and this will run you $89.95. Now this is to be used in conjunction with a Griffin taper mount. If you're using the Griffin taper mount, you will have to use this to mount it up. Going from there, we have the flash hider itself by Griffin is gonna run you, I've seen around $100 and $95 depending on where you buy it from. Personally, I like to buy it from Griffin themselves. Their shipping is relatively fast and you get a lot of freaking sweet stickers. Okay, I think I've ran through all the prices. I know I've ran through all the prices. So I don't think I need that book anymore, right? Now, what's cool about the Griffin taper mount setup is, see, if you got a thick 6 like this, pretty sweet, pretty nasty, right? But sometimes you want something a little more girthy. So you can take this and set that there. And now we got a thick 7 in conjunction with a taper mount, and slap her on here. Slapped on here. I will have to give you a little caveat here to the YouTube guy that's gonna be looking over this video, right? I am using parts that are produced, sold, manufactured, made, or contracted to be manufactured by Dead Air themselves. And I am using these suppressors in the applications that Dead Air made this suppressor to be used in. So this is not modifying, this is using existing hardware to use this suppressor as the manufacturer intended. That being said, I just want to put that out there. This is not any sort of modification. This is just using parts on a suppressor for what it's intended for, right? So now that I got that out of the way, we will be talking about, you know, this on a rifle. I'll show you all the tone, but you're not gonna really get it over the camera, but let's just go ahead, we'll just rock one round out of it and we'll throw it in the dirt, right? A lot of blowback, but it's because this isn't exactly a flow-through can. Not exactly, it's not a flow-through can at all whatsoever. But as you can see here, a little bit of smoky smoke. I have this stuck on here, and that is because this being a modular system, I don't want to use anything like Loctite just so I can quickly swap in between. I just verify tightness before I go to the range. But we'll talk about the tools that I like to have in my tool bag while using a suppressor, right? Any combination of these will work. This is a Harbor Freight sort of knockoff of the Knipex that I cut some weight off of, just so it's easier and lighter to use. That being said, we'll just use this little armorer's wrench. We'll throw it on here and we'll knock this loose and it should come right off. Any of these are great to have in a bag just so you can quickly and efficiently remove the suppressor if need be, and you're using it in the way that I am, which is a little bit weird, a little bit different. That being said, when you do mount these suppressors, you wanna make sure this bitch is tighter than an Asian cat's. This should be tight, right? We're done with this on this rifle in the long configuration. Let's go into the short configuration. All you'll do is spin this piece off. You'll take this little tool that they send in the box, remove this front cap, and on this front cap, what does it have? It has a system to add wipes, right? So like your ass, you can use wipes on it, but I know you don't.
Who hasn't wiped their ass today in preparation?
I just let it crust, dude.
I live a toilet paperless life.
The front cap does have a little piece. You can put a socket in there or use a pair of pliers depending, and then you'll just insert your wipe right there. It's a really thought out suppressor. It's great. The reason why you would use a wipe is just, I think it helps with the oxygen, not re-entering the suppressor when you're shooting, and it's just quieter. You know, it's like that fucking dead hooker in the trunk. We might have to cut that joke. That might have gotten a little too dark. So let's go ahead and throw this end cap back onto the suppressor and we will move on. It's nice and tight. Like I said, tighter than that. Now let's move into the Nielsen device, right? Remember what I said about lube? Spit isn't gonna work here, right? You really should use like a lithium grease or something that's a long-lasting lubricant, because this girl gets dirty fast, okay? So we'll take this piston. I will show you all a cool trick that that I saw on the YouTubes, and that's how to clean this piston. And you'll just screw it onto your pistol, and then you'll just stick it in here, just like so, and then just spin it around, and you'll get all that crust out of there, like your fucking asshole, and you get back from the field just scraping all that crust out of there.
Just fucking clench my fist and shit my fucking pants as hard as I could.
Get all of it out, da, 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 da. And then you can wipe it out. But look how much just broke loose just by doing that. It's a good way to clean that piston out. Usually I like to clean this Nielsen device after 3,000 rounds. Now that she is sort of cleaned out here and I have Mr. Blackfinger, go ahead and remove this, just like so. And we can put together this Nielsen device. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Slaps in there, just like so. Your spring, and then the end cap. And this end cap, once again, you're gonna wanna apply a thin set of lithium grease or, you know, your manufacturer's recommended lubricant around this O-ring, because blowing out an O-ring is never a good time. Ain't that right, boys? Okay, too far? Dope. Now that the suppressor is ready to rock and roll in the short configuration, I'll go ahead and throw it on a pistol, because everyone loves pistols with suppressors, you know? Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, but that being said, we'll go ahead and put the suppressor on the pistol. All right, we'll run some subs through this and see if she'll work. Okay, eye pro's on. Now let's shoot some targets. Well, what am I hitting over there? Okay, I think that's enough sub action for today. Let's go ahead and throw some 9mm through this thing. Non-subsonic. Break yourself.
Break yourself, fool! Tight.
So, as you can see, this Wolfman is actually decent and pretty reliable, given the fact that it is a pistol suppressor. Now, the way that this Nielsen device actually works is the gas forces this piston back and it knocks the slide backwards, just giving it that little bit more of an oomph to cycle this pistol, right? If you're using this on a carbine styled 9mm, you won't need this Nielsen device. You can just direct thread it if it's 1/28, but if not, this is a way to run it. Now, the reason I have this Nielsen device is not to run on this pistol, but is actually to run on what? This Flux Raider. I think I have all of my jokes shot out for this video, but oh, you know what? I got another joke, right? This is how you'll know I'll never get sponsored by this fucking company, by Dead Air. And that is because their company sounds like a gay man's farts. That's all I got. If you put it together, you put it together. If you don't, you don't. Let's throw this Flux up. Pretty sweet, pretty nasty, and pretty quiet, right? So what do I think about this suppressor? I think it is a Great suppressor for somebody who just wants to go out and shoot some 300 blackout, shoot some 9mm, occasionally throw it on a 5.56, and have a modular system that can do it all somewhat well, right? This isn't gonna be a perfect suppressor for every application, but it'll definitely get every application done that you put it towards, right? If that makes sense, go comment, subscribe. I'm trying to get this channel to grow bigger than Wings of Redemption's chin. That being said, I've went over everything I can go over without getting out the decibels because I don't have a decimal reader. Mine broke. So how about y'all just get off my range? Please get that footage, bitch. Thank God.